Welcome. This is the Late Late Show with BT, where views with security and the law are being provided to you, the public. We are reading from Popular Photography, May 2016, with its supplement, Alpha Universe, May 2016, Golf, April 2016, Ebony, December 2015, January 2016, and Playboy, March 2016. So again, that's Popular Photography, May 2016, with this supplement, Alpha Universe, May 2016, Golf, April 2016, Ebony, December 2015, January 2016, and Playboy, March 2016. And the book is Rainforest by Joy Palmer. Dawn Winslow. It's winter, and the Dawn Patrol is out in force, not at their usual spot off Crystal Pier and Pacific Beach, but way up at Swami's, where the big north swell that just arrived is going off. High tide and sunny day and hang 12, Boone's crew. It's high tide, no beach, and a wicked backwash bounces off the bluff. It holds him in, then bounces him, and he knows he's going off the board, and there's nothing he can do but wait it out. The hydrodynamics change, and he feels the leash jerk his ankle as the board shoots ahead, pulling him into the bluff. Every serious surfer practices for this, trains to hold his breath, not panic, and keep track of which way is up, so that when the wave finally releases him, he won't do further damage by plunging down instead of up. The wave crashes him against the bluff, and he turns to take the blow on his shoulder. He ducks it, and it smashes him against the bluff again. It was a fine board that had a lot of rides under it, a lot of history. Too big for me, Burke says, following him. Boone respects that, figures that Burke came out just to look. Boone asks, unzipping the back of his O'Neill winter suit and toweling off. Boone's only surprised that Trash Bag made it to the house at all and wasn't shot resisting arrest with a firearm in his hand. Well, he's also surprised that Burke has the case. Trash Bag should have gotten a PD and then side out. He had hoped to torture Boone in the hot sea of red ink spilled across his monthly statement. Boone says, he has a file out on the table. I'll order, Burke says, knowing that Boone has no need to. Joe Phillips is called Trash Bag for a reason. He walks up and down the Pacific Coast Highway in North County with a black plastic trash bag into which he throws stuff he finds along the road. These miles sponsored by Trash Bag Phillips. Trash Bag has a wet brain. He slides some paper across the table. Why did Trash Bag just walk up and shoot a cop? Probably the best surfer in PB, maybe in San Diego. Her long legs won't do anything but stride. Although Sunny's a better surfer than Boone is, he worries about her. Burke watches Sunny stride away and says to Boone, "You're an idiot." Maybe Trash Bag didn't do it. He sat across the table from Trash Bag and listened as Burke took him through the whole thing, and Boone had never seen a more confused man in his entire life. Trash Bag just said that he was done answering questions, and they can do whatever they wanted with him. He didn't give a shit. As they left the building, Boone said, "Go with the insanity defense." Burke was right, Boone thought. Amazing Grace on the bagpipe, the grieving widow with the little boy. Trash Bag might be better off there. Boone goes back to the file. Akemi, the young Chaldean guy behind the counter of the convenience store, gives Boone a sardonic smile. "Did I know Trash Bag?" "We threw him out a few times when he tried to pocket the little booze bottles here at the counter, but I didn't think he was a bad guy, just sad, until he did this terrible thing. It's well worn, tried by the homeless. It keeps them barely attached to the world." He stops half a mile from the store at the spot where the arresting officers picked Trash Bag up the murder weapon. Boone walks down to the highway underpass the Trash Bag called home. "You know a guy they call Trash Bag?" "Trash Bag did it." "No, Go back to sleep, Boone says. Trash bag Phillips killed the wrong cop, Boone thinks. Boone goes back to the office and gets on the computer to try and answer the question, who is Joe Trashbag Phillips? Case is pretty much closed, but Boone goes back to the file to make sure he has it all tied up. They all give Boone the stink eye, and every one of them says, get the out of here, shithead. The other cottages are part of the hotel, but Cheerful used his considerable leverage to buy this one, and he rents it out at a nominal fee. Trashbag Phillips walked the same route every night. I'm telling you, backed up off. Johnny says, don't make us go there, Boone. He paddles out to Boone on a board the size of a small yacht. You making trouble again? Last out is Dave the Love God, his sobriquet a play on lifeguard, because Dave is the most famous lifeguard in the town where kids idolize them like kids in other cities worship basketball players, and because he has an equally impressive reputation among the tourist chicks as the best vacation sex this side of anywhere. You'll need to be right, to be just, to make up for some sin you think you committed. Right in Anne Boone remembers that the Buddha said, an admirable friendship, admirable companionship, admirable camaraderie is the whole of a holy life. She strikes Boone as a little timid. The unkind word would be mousy, but then again he figures she's probably still in shock. I bet they did, Boone thinks. And I'm sorry to bother you. Is your little boy at home? If Darren Langdon killed your husband, you want to be a witness, not an accomplice. Then he dropped the weapon where he knew Trashbag Phillips would find it and arrested him. You have a little boy with no father, Boone says. Put your hands behind your head and walk backward to me. Langdon's coming up behind them. He grabs Sharon by the waist and helps her over the rail. And even if the roach cop doesn't kill them, the water might. They might freeze before he gets swimmed into the beach. He brings them back up to sea. The wave hits him like a Tyson left hook thrown from the canvas, blows him backward, takes him to the bottom and rolls him. Over and over again as he holds on to Sharon and tries to keep her body compact, the wave holds them down, punishes them for their temerity in being there in the first place. And the cold is agonizing and eats up oxygen until finally it stops and Boone pushes up and the second wave is bigger than the first. And now they're in the impact zone, and it crashes down on their heads and explodes like a bomb, and Boone can't hold on as Sharon is blown from his arms, and all he can do himself is try to survive as the wave holds him down and his lungs scream for air, and then the wave slams the back of his head on the bottom and he starts to black out, and that will be death, drowning in the dark, cold water before the sun can warm him one last time. Stretched across the board, Boone looks over and sees Sonny hoist Sharon to Hank Twelve's board. She pulled the trigger, but they planned it together. Here's to being wrong. Don Winslow. Trump, Hillary, Bernie in the business of authenticity. But he and others in the business says it's worth enduring the pressure for the high that comes with it. The appeal is simple. Your guy is good, the other guy is evil, and every day you wake up trying to beat the crap out of the other guy. Political strategists have operated behind the scenes since at least 1932, when Franklin D. Roosevelt was White House. I have to go back to Pittsburgh, he said. The last thing I that they don't believe they're carrying out a lofty patriotic duty. Doing this is like coaching in big-time college sports with the NFL, said Steve Schmidt, chief strategist for John McCain's 2008 presidential campaign. When McCain told Schmidt his campaign was broke, Schmidt, so exhilarated by the work, offered to stay on for free. Sanders showed he didn't need a beltway team to fashion his persona. Besides, Devine claims, Sanders has been the same since he was elected to Congress in 1990. John Maloney. Eric Spitznagel. Abby Jacobson and Atlanta Glazer don't know if they're successful yet, but they do know how to explain packing to your mom. Could fans tweet beg you into dating them or hosting their bar mitzvah? Why do we have a weird feeling we could leave the room right now and come back in an hour and the two of you would still be talking about this? I caught that they don't have a washer and dryer in their own, and that would be like a really big thing for them. That's one thing that we have in common. Not having a washer and dryer. I really would like a washer and dryer in my home, but I don't have one. And I've already filled up the place in a 2-bedroom. I would have to move into a 1-bedroom that has a washer and dryer if one were to come available, or wait for one of these other 2 bedrooms. I would have to move, basically. Either way, I would have to move because you can't put a washer and dryer in the place. And I really don't want to move. So I'm stuck here without a washer and dryer. And I like my place. It's humble. I'm still am blessed that I'm able to pay the rent, because I do the show for free. I'm volunteering, and I have no idea if that will ever change. So I'm blessed right now that I even have a roof over my head and stable income. But I have a indoor, outdoor type environment where it's like a woodsy type place. So it's kind of neat, but I still prefer a washer and dryer. But if you think about it, outside in the woods, they probably didn't have washer and dryers. They probably did everything by home. And I don't know if that's why we did everything by hand. And I don't know if that's why the place doesn't have a washer and dryer to kind of keep the authenticity of it, because the more contemporary places that they built have washer and dryers. This one just doesn't. Moving on to the buzz. Reviews by Michael Chwosky and Mark D. Playability, one of the best, excellent from everywhere. Nimble enough to bend the ball to your will with plenty of power to clear cut the tall grass. Look, for many guys, the best in class, old school, elegant, and impressive profile with ideal offset and a classy look. The mid-size head wears its satin finish well. Bottom line, the top rated game improvement iron of the year. On the bladish end of the bunch, this club wakes up with a bit of skill. Playability, a high launching set that lifts you out of trouble, stable and effective from the rough, responds to basic commands. Hybrids provide tons of help and value. Look, a seamless progressive set, meaty top line and encouraging offset sit well behind the ball. Hybrids are compact and easy to align. Cons in this one. For some, they're all a little thick over the ball and a little tongue-tied at impact. One or two testers think the two-tone appearance comes off a little less serious than most. A few guys find the graphite shaft too light and tricky to tie. Playability. This All-star blends finesse and power. Mid to low flight lets you maneuver the ball throughout the set. So hugs the turf and cuts through rough a freestyler, playful across all kinds of terrain. Accuracy forgiveness trades forgiveness for versatility, but easier to hit than expected. The small cavity gives a little room for error. Thin shots get a bit of mustard. Laser guided short irons with the ability to work the ball into pins. Emphasis on control, distance control. Emphasis on control. Won't pad your stats or provides distance on par with what guys expect. Easy to lock in. And as precise as you are, superb greenside manner may be the best in its class. Feel sets the bar and surpasses many players' irons. Old fashioned, forged feel. Soft resonant thump, like slapping a mattress. Full shots bound off the face. Light touch around greens. Look, best in the test, then top to bottom, closest to a blade in the category, oozes quality, with beautiful attention to detail down to the red stripes on the fur. Cons: the smallest sweet spot in its class. Not much built into these arms to improve your game, except maybe tough love. Missed hits are felt all the way up your arms. Labeling by loft comes off a little geeky to some guys. Bottom line, one of the top irons tested. The BTS recaptures the vibe and feel of the Steve Hogan Apex with modern updates that pros are sure to love. Playability. To hear our testers tell it, the beveled sole is darn near perfect. It cuts a clean divot and glides through trouble like a dolphin slicing through the waves. Formidable around the greens, a rare game improvement set with wedges. You'll want to keep, not easy to shape, but not impossible either. High launch is great for the altitude impaired. Cons: can't work the ball like some of the sportier irons in its class. Not the most forgiving club in the long irons. High handicappers may need more help. Long blade lengths give a few testers pause. Bottom line, an interesting club. Velvety forge filled with cavity back level forgiveness and turf interaction typically reserved for better player sticks. Its all-purpose abilities make it something a wide range of golfers should try before they buy. Playability: shades toward a player's club, medium flight with high-end control. It goes down and gets the ball without diving in. Long irons pack plenty of muscle with none of the ball. Accuracy forgiveness. Ease of use is up there with many of the larger cavity irons. Its hallmark is accuracy, a straight club that takes big curves off the table, adept at absorbing thin and heavy contact, so works well in a broad range of conditions. Distance control. Regular, repeatable numbers capable of carrying trouble on sketchy contact. Excellent on in-between shots. Red line spin puts you in attack mode. Look, sleek, stealthy, and modern. Long, slender head with nearly zero offset sits nicely behind the ball. A meaner, better player look than its sibling, the Vaporfly. Bottom line, the harder nose of Nike's two models, the Fly Pro's all-around versatility and precision accuracy make it a top performer. Playability: a simple functional iron that elevates the ball off live, stick, and thin, more likely to get you over trouble than around it. Long irons are easy enough to use. A couple of guys would cut out their hybrids. Accuracy forgiveness: the club's greatest strength and one of the standouts for forgiveness. Low stress says it best. Take things slow and expect good results. Thin strikes get a full ride. The extra altitude means most shots find a way to hold the green. Feel: the impact is mellow and understated for a big iron. Very damp ride through the ball. Most guys think the light recoil shot is a big upgrade. It pairs well with the head and gets moving easily. This club likes to work at its own pace and it's best to let it. Look, modern design that's ready for liftoff. A stout full body iron with a comfortable amount of mass behind the toe and heel and sleek, smooth colored finish. Thicker than the pro model, but nothing to be ashamed of. Bottom line, this nightgown is built for comfort over handling. Playability: a classic GI iron. It simplifies the game, prefers straight lines, but composed curves are not off the table. Broad sole sweeps the ball off its feet and gets it high in a hurry. Accuracy forgiveness. This is why you buy the G. It's the easiest iron to hit in the category, so forgive me that you may where you want it to go, and it'll get there possibly the most precise big head on the market. Won't typically bend around trouble, but can keep you away from it. Cons. Up, up, and away is going to hit the ball high, even if that's not the shape you want, compared with some peers. The G seems big. Some testers will swap out the wedges. Bottom line, Payne's Mission of Mercy carries right along with the new G, an earnest, straightforward iron that's the most forgiving club in its class. Playability. Pre-programmed to horse it high. Expect aggressive extraction from the thick stuff. It kicks the ball into the air. One-stop shopping with long irons that can stand in for hybrids and a full complement of use for wedges. Bump and runs are a breeze. Accuracy forgiveness. Its strongest feature. These are built for forgiveness. The M2 overcomes most of your flaws. You can hit it poorly and still play well enough. A thumper that likes to bash the ball straight ahead. Even bad swings tend to hold the line. Feel. M2 punches the ball in the gut and seems to enjoy doing it. Misses are heard more than felt. Feedback won't scare you off, or misses, or pat you on the back when you purr one. Burly hair doesn't waver in tough spots. Bottom line, the M2 is a full service set that delivers competent, low stress performance. Feel. A rewarding, comfortable club that kicks in with minimal effort, awesome balance, compression and power, plows through the ground and smudges the ball. Small misses feel dumb. Bottom line, Titleist pulls off a neat trick with 716 AP1, streamlining the head while making it easier to use. It's the best AP1 to date, which makes it one of the top irons of the year. Playability. Wide blunt toe skips through the ground. A great choice for sweeping swings. One of the best from fairway bunkers. Decent lateral maneuverability. Works the ball both ways without overcooking it. Overall plays something like a hybrid set without the stigma. Distance control. Honest shoot to the number distances. Not juice, but predictable. Consistent gaps between clubs. Long irons get up and go like hybrids. A beautiful thing when struck on center. Feel. Flush shots are rewarded with a well-tuned sound. Tungsten weighting on the sole offers nice head weight. Paired with the recoil shaft, it imparts a head-heavy kick and next to no vibration. Rock steady and stable. The CB Pro powers the path to the ball. Look, an interesting design. An enclosed cavity exudes a full muscle-back appearance, sort of like an inflated blade. The long, beefy head doesn't overdo the offset, while the brushed finish highlights the hitting area. Cons. In an age of jack loss and juice distances, the Cebu Pro Tungsten's power is a bit quaint, thick, hefty head can be difficult to judge on pitches and partial shots. One or two guys say the clubs are less forgiving than their size suggests. Feedback can be tough to translate. Bottom line, a game improving iron with a distinct style and performance. Feel. A pleasant, warm crack through the ball, rewarding for a big cavity back. It's meaty, muscular, and the ball stays on the face a long time. The polymer inserts devour vibration. The club projects power to the swing. Cons. Some testers think these are a little jacked. The distances take a while to get used to. It can be tough to control. Short irons are too shovelers for serious sticks. The basic combo of black chrome and sand turns off a few minimalists. Bottom line, with some new age thinking, this old school brand is rapidly returning to relevance. Accuracy forgiveness. Well struck shots fly on the right track. The short irons are ultra precise. They make testers feel like surgeons. Enough forgiveness baked in to allow misses to get to the fringe rather than the bunker. Cons. The long irons aren't as easy to get airborne as some others. Misses can sting, but the feedback's fair. Bottom line, the Apex Pro tops the better player iron category. Playability definitely flies higher than others in the category, making long irons more functional. A few guys can work stock draws and fades, but shots mostly want to travel straight. One of the best at launching shots from the rough. Bottom line, with the most forgiveness in this class, the King Force Tech is a wide choice for anyone looking to ease into the better player market. Playability. This club can execute any shot a serious player calls for, lower than average trajectory, but the high heads can get more altitude. Cambered soles interact beautifully with turf. Feel. Soft impact. The ball stays on the face a long time. Mishits, twist, and shout, but provide useful feedback. Scoring shots feel about as sweet as any premium wedge. Bottom line, these stunning irons were a fan's favorite in this year's tests. Accuracy forgiveness. Consistent swings are rewarded with first-rate results. Chips to full shots. Show the precision that the best players look for misses are not all forgiven, but they're not as severely punished as some expect. Feel the best, and it's not even close. Impact is soft and buttery. Feedback on mishits won't tar your hands. Well balanced, heavier weight helps improve timing. Look, best in show. Classic blade look at a dress with technology neatly tucked away. Guys like how the two-tone face frames the ball. Quiet appearance yet begs to be swung. Shots shots out of the rough require extra muscle to keep the club head from twisting. Long irons fly too low to be playable for a couple of guys. Forgiveness can suffer at the expense of workability. Bottom line, the MP25 sits at the head of the class. Playability, straight is the default flight, though some shots can be made to bend. Long irons are however liking their ability to hit high shots that land softly on grounds, while the short irons have a controllable mid-trajectory for easy birdie hunting. Competently works through all kinds of lies to send shots toward the target. Look, clean, simple lines along with a medium-sized head and top line, two-tone face, frames the ball while the white fill on the bottom groove makes alignment easy. Offset gets progressively more in the long irons for help squaring the club. The bottom line, with high marks for its forgiveness and easy launching long irons, the Ping Eye is an excellent introduction for guys looking to move into a better players club. Look seems more refined than the RSI with a smaller head that appeals to better players. Base slides near the toe and hold heel on the long irons in alignment and inspire confidence and hot results. Curved soles look ready to handle any lie. Bottom line, the PSI offers an attractive blend of powerful long irons and precise short irons for anyone entering the better player iron category. Playability, top-notch marks. The new AP2 makes shot shaping effortless, medium to high flight, but trajectory can be altered on command. Updated sole slides through all types of turf with skill. Look, smallish head with a thin top line, polished chrome finish wins a lot of fans. Elegant, easy to align, and begging to be swung. Bottom line, the Titleist AP2s are one of the top models in the category. Feel, heavy head feel, with a definite sensation in the shaft loading at the top of the swing, the club head powering through the ball at impact. Shots come off the sweet spot softly with a pleasant sounding click. Bottom line, at half the price of some other irons tested, the Exotis EXI is a solid pick for players looking to add a little pop to their game as well as height. Playability. The sole excels at sliding through the ground without catching or digging. Shots fly high and straight even from gnarly spots. Gentle fades and draws into tuck pins are possible, but going over trouble is easier than working around it. Look, brush finish reduces glare and slams down the mid-size head and top line. The rounded two-tone face frames the ball. Most testers like the look of less offset in short irons and more in the longer ones. Bottom line, standout forgiveness makes it a fit for players transitioning toward a player's iron. Bottom line, the blue does what it promises. If you want to hit playability, if you want to hit soaring shots, these are for you. Hefty Soul makes quick work of all kinds of trouble lies, prefers straight shots, but capable of moving it side to side. Accuracy forgiveness, one of the best. Crazy forgiving, thanks to the hefty soul. Produces little side spin, shots go straight all day long. Misses don't lose a ton of distance or fly far offline. Look, Master Soul makes you think you can smash through just about anything. Surprisingly simple to set up. The big flame helps with alignment. Bottom line, don't let the quirky look fool you. The JGR is one of the top performing mass game improvement irons in our test. Your first look makes you wonder, but the first hit makes you fall in love. Harry Jack, handicap 13, age 57. Distance control. Hit your target consistently once you get it dialed in. Easy to throttle back when you want to take something off it. Plenty long, even if it's not the longest of the bunch. Feel firm, stable, and solid through the ball, even out toward the heel or toe. There's enough feedback to play short approaches around the greens. Well balanced, not so light that you lose the head at the top of the swing. Bottom line, a nicely balanced package that provides outstanding accuracy and ease of use with a solid feel. Feel. On the heavy side makes it stable with plenty of thump through the ball. Solid click at impact delivers enough feedback to know if you struck it well or not. Never harsh, even on shots that miss the sweet spot. Look, one of the favorites, traditional appearance in a nicely sized package, not too big or bulky at address. Cons. The max isn't the strongest when the rough or trouble lies. Not quite as high a trajectory as some expect if you guys don't want such a heavy feel. Bottom line, a solid all-around performer, the Max is one of the top-ranked models in the test. Look, classy and understated, textures like the matte gray finish, a nice setup, not big or bulbous behind the ball. Cons, not quite as forgiving as some would like. A few guys want more length, solid feel at impact that doesn't live up to the buttery soft bar set by Mizuno Forgings. Bottom line, the JPX EZ is one of the highest rated models in the Max game improvement category. High consistent playability, high consistent flight. The wedges slide under the ball with ease around the greens. For some testers, it's relatively easy to manufacture shots with the mid and short irons. Cons, those seeking a high trajectory would do better to look elsewhere. For some testers, it's not noticeably more forgiving than its predecessor, the Karsten iron. The big head can turn off some players. Bottom line, the G-Max is another very solid all-around performer from Ping in the category in which the company excels. Playability. One of the top clubs in the category, is easy as anything to hit straight or even work a bit. Great on partial shots and simple knockdowns. Highly functional form, rough and other trouble lies. Distance control, a real crowd pleaser. Impressive consistency makes it a cinch to hit greens. Total distance is on par with testers' own clubs, so these things can do it every single time. Feel, a clear favorite. You can really sense the ball compressing and impact, and it feels powerful. There's plenty of feedback through the ball. Look, one of the best in its class, a very attractive, well-proportioned club. It looks more like a standard game improvement iron than a max game improvement model. Cons, poor contact can produce a harsh feel in the hands. Not as good from the rough as one or two guys would like. A few others want a little more help throughout the bag. Bottom line, the top-ranked model in the max game improvement class. Look, the top line and full sole are apparent at address, which gives testers the confidence that they'll strike it solidly. Frames the ball nicely, enough offset without drawing attention away from the task at hand. Bottom line, with the Aero Burner, you get a serious pop and a good-looking package. Higher handicappers will also enjoy the booming ball flight. Look, silver and black color scheme looks good. Offset is less noticeable than in some other models. Fairly long blade length provides confidence over the ball. Bottom line, the Exotics EXD offers dependable distance, while the beefy head cuts through tough lies with ease. Distance control, fairly hot, but you can throttle back when you want. You can swing hard and hit it long without getting out of control. Look, compact, glossy black hybrids are tastefully done, and the contrasting silver face helps alignment. Silver irons have great scoring lines to frame the ball. Bottom line, the Defy is an interesting combination set that offers a decent blend of distance and versatility. The hybrids are the best part and will be worth a look on their own. And those are reviews by Michael Chwatsky and Mark D. Michael Bamberger. The best story at last year's Masters wasn't Jordan, Rory, or Ricky. Brennan had already been to the funerals of 5 friends he had made in the oncology department at St. Jude Children's in Memphis: Cassidy, Cameron, Carlton, Carissa, and Patrick. In January 2009, on his 7th birthday, Brennan had been diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. No wonder Brennan could read a brain. 1,000 spectators watching, with the nonchalance of a kid reading the back of a Lucky Charms box. The book was out, but in another sense, the final chapter had not yet been written. 2 years later, it was up to his mother to tell Brennan about the suicide of the big-hearted genius. I think the song is about Robin, the boy told his mother. Brennan knows the song because his father is a devoted music buff. Turner Simpkins is a guitarist, writer, hunter, wine drinker, and lapsed Presbyterian. meditating Catholic, and a new urbanism developer. Michael Bomberger. The best for a car non-iron dress shirt, par none. Interview by Cameron Morfitt. Jim Bones became Bagman for Phil Mickelson. Colin Swatter, Jason Day, and John Wood, Matt Coker all fit the bill. Phil kick-started his closing run with a birdie there in 2004, leading to his first green jacket. Some people said Augusta needed to be tiger-proof after Wood shot a record 18 under in 1997. People don't realize how precise you have to be. John, you brought up Phil's miracle recovery shot on 13 in 2010, that famous 6-iron off the pine needles in between two trees. John Wood, you don't win any tournament by managing misses. He saved the best for last, winning his 18th major and 6th green jacket in 1986 at 46. Mark Steinbauer. Wise head is behind the ball at impact with her eye line parallel to the ground. Start at the bottom. To build a portfolio for the long haul, you need a strong foundation. Jessica Marksburg and Michael Breed. Between your golf academy and your TV show, you're one of the busiest men in the game. Michael Breed. There's nothing better than helping someone shoot their lowest score or win a club championship. But being able to help someone quit smoking or to help someone save their marriage, well, those types of things are really important to me. It has to be long off the tee. It has to be durable. I have to be able to flight it. It has to be consistent. Michael Watson. It has to bore through a headwind. Golf with a little bite. Today's tour players are long, strong, and fit, but here's proof that fields aren't any deeper than they used to be. Mark Brody. I sorted the players from best to worst, i.e. from highest to lowest winning probability, and counted how many players need to be pulled together to exceed a 50% chance of victory. Still, Vijay Singh beat the odds and won. Ask the rules guy. He won't throw the book at you. Steve Butler asks, I asked because I happen to carry a nail file in my bag and have been known to lightly file off the ball's raised parts or to scrape them off with my fingernails or teeth. Charlie Benaway. I hit a fairway bunker shot that tunneled so deep into the bunker face that the back of the ball was beyond the edge of the hazard. My interpretation of the unplayable ball rule will allow me to take a drop using the point on the ground directly above where the ball came to rest. After all, a ball coming to rest on a bridge over a water hazard is deemed to be in the hazard. Similarly, my ball is completely beneath the ground surface and no longer in or touching the bunker. Therefore, I was not required to base my drop as though it were still in the hazard. Interview by Jessica Marksburg. Do you think you deserve to be mentioned alongside today's great young players like Jordan, Ricky, and Rory? The ball that changed the ball. Myra Beck, age 60. But I knew this was meant to be. The clouds, the trees, and the blanket of people, the caddies lined up perfectly. I busted my ass to get there before Tiger did. Not easy when weaving through the massive death on him. I got the ball, the flying needles, and the club folding in two. David Cannon, 60. Honorary stars are a great Augusta tradition. Back in the day, they would actually play 9 holes. You're on the back 9, Cancer. And Cancer is scratched out. Cameron Morgan. The best way to overcome that is with a combination of course, knowledge, great precision, especially distance control with the irons, and of course, a very steady nerve with the putt. William Schnitzer. Regarding reason number 59 to love golf now, Brandon Chambly's Holy Grail swing set lesson, February 2016. I'm over 60 and I've had 2 knee surgeries and 3 back surgeries. I work with a golf professional, but I will leave the course with sore legs and a stiff back. Then I looked at Chambly's lesson, the pictures of Saracen, Jones, Hagen, Palmer, Nicklaus, and Watson, and I tried to lift my left heel, put my weight on the inside of my right foot, then turn to the target and lift my right heel on my follow through. David M. Clark. The Bears turned back the clock Masters when topped our list and is still number 1 in my book. I caught lightning in a bottle that week, he told us with typical honesty. Erica M. Goodman. The Beauty of Black. All the actors in the film were given the opportunity to be as brave as they could and to make bold choices with the characters they were playing. That's a huge responsibility, and I want to make sure that I honor both the book and the people who came before me. Danielle Brooks. Television is where I am still learning and adjusting. I could not have asked for a better show to be a part of. The beauty of being an actor is that this is going to be my interpretation of the Sophia world. I'm bringing the complicated Shug Avery to Broadway. I wanted to be completely stripped down and build up to this role. Jennifer Hudson. Doesn't matter if they've been naughty or nice. Troy Vincent. The former cornerback who played for the Dolphins, Eagles, Bills, and Redskins has transitioned from the field to the boardroom. Tim Story. This filmmaker reached new cinematic heights behind the camera with the Fantastic Four superhero franchise. Charles Harbison. This former women's wear designer for Michael Kors studied textiles, fine arts, and painting at North Carolina State University before traveling abroad to absorb as much knowledge as possible about Central Asian textiles. Take back your neighborhood. There's only one person to blame if you have consenting, unprotected sex with someone without finding out his or her HIV/AIDS status. Pop That by Michael Arceneaux. It used to be an issue, but I'm working through it and I'm still interested. He would later tell me he didn't see us going anywhere and wanted to be just friends. Unfortunately, many old stigmas which often vilify those with the disease remain, including the continued criminalization of HIV-positive people and debate over who is responsible for the burden of infection. In fact, several states still criminalize spitting by an HIV-positive person, which is based on the falsehood that the disease can be transmitted by saliva. Researchers at the Institute of Human Virology at the University of Maryland School of Medicine in Baltimore recently began the first stage of clinical trial that could lead to an approved HIV vaccine. Tiffany Waldman. While sitting at the table across from his family at a Los Angeles steakhouse, Damon Elliott felt the effects of his hypertension coming on strong. But that didn't stop him from indulging in Brazilian steakhouse Fogo de Chao, his favorite restaurant with its all-you-can-eat fare. It was only walking on the treadmill for an hour a day, but that counts for something, right? And of course, I take the picture for Instagram with a little bit of the sweat and go, "Ooh, I'm fit for life." But the numbers more significantly reflect the Black community, in which 69.4% of Black men and 81.9% of Black women are considered obese or overweight. According to the Body Mass Index (BMI), a measure of body fat based on weight and height, widely used by doctors and researchers, Elliott was considered morbidly obese. I went through every emotion in the class, from "this is incredibly hard" to "wow, I'm catching the beat" to "man, this music is really good." Beauty B. Damon Young. Random thoughts for Damon Young of Very Smart Brothers. What can I bring that will please the crowd without shaming the ancestors? So fried chicken is your specialty, but you have some concerns about being the only Black person there and bringing the food you assume they'd expect you to bring. The blackest thing that happened, ebony. Yet, even as a child, I always knew I could walk into any doctor's or dentist's office, regardless of how white the staff happened to be, and find an ebony magazine in the waiting room. It's not older than your granddad, because he looks to be at least 137 years old. In Ebony's case, we forget how disruptive and revolutionary it is just by existing, being the blackest thing that ever happened on those newsstands and on those coffee tables and waiting rooms, and serving as a monthly pocket of celebratory, critical, particular, and panoramic blackness in spaces without it. Erica N. Goodman. The Balmain collections are always eye-catching, edgy, and powerful. That would be like picking my preferred pizza stand on the beach of Star on the Sky. Erica N. Goodman. But before the 20-year-old could pick up her first pair of pointe shoes, the Sierra Leone native who was raised in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, had to overcome an early life of adversities. One was seeing my teacher at the orphanage being brutally killed by the devils or rebels. Did that spark your dream to become a dancer? I became determined to be one as well. This was a small comfort to a little girl who was used to being ridiculed and rejected because of the way she looked. The situation got so bad that I began to lose faith in my own abilities. Erica N. Goodman. Defined by Feel Good Eyes, hashtag Serena Slam, Riley Curry grabs the mic, Trevor Noah takes late night, devastating lows, the Charleston massacre, the mysterious death of Sandra Bland, and reasons to believe in a better day. Marilyn Mosby fights for justice. The hashtag Black Lives Matter movement soldiers on. 2015 was beautifully, painfully, and undeniably impactful for African Americans. Primes are better than Zooms. Break the rules. Beantown. It doesn't get more historic than Boston. David Shonar. In wedding photos, I think it can be more beautiful to have some imperfection. For instance, if the bride's hair is being blown slightly by the wind, or if her gown is moving a bit. Ding and her partner, Jeremy Chan, are the creative team behind Jaza Photography, a wedding and portrait photography business based in the San Francisco Bay Area that has won wide acclaim. In 2008, she stumbled across the blog of photographer Scott Robert Lim, another Sony artisan, who was looking for an assistant to help him organize a photo workshop in Beijing. Several years later, she and Chan began changing the perception of how wedding photographers work when they began using Sony mirrorless camera systems. The big heavy DSLR she used to shoot with are still handy, however, in an ironic way. Dean says that some wedding guests have a hard time believing she is a professional photographer when they see her small cameras. So sometimes we actually hire an assistant to walk around with the DSLR, not to take pictures, but to act as a kind of a decoy, she says. David Schonauer. It was 3 years ago that he and Bowen expanded their business into the now thriving high school photography business. That's an important feature for school photography because you don't have to sit with your face hidden behind the camera. We find that there is a much better connection with the kids that way. The color it produces is the best we've seen from any camera on the market. We've compared files from the 58 to files from the Canon 7D, and they blew them away, he says. David Schonauer. They are sharper and more beautiful than anything I've ever shot with, says Sony artisan of imagery Brian Smith, speaking of Sony's new flagship G Master lens line. David Schonauer. Today, Biela's primary camera is the 42.4 megapixel Sony 7R2. He also uses a 24.3 megapixel Sony 77 II for action shots because of the blazing speed offered by its 79 phase detection autofocus points and 12 frames per second continuous shooting capability. More and more of my clients, including airshow performers, want video clips they can put up on YouTube, Biela says. I'm happy because that's another service I can provide. My shooting with remote cameras has added to Biela's creative options. A more traditional approach, shooting one aircraft while flying in another, is still a basic of his business and the part that requires the most care and planning. David Schonauer, editor. Meanwhile, on page 22, we spotlight Sony artist Joe Brady, who knows that high school senior portraits have also become creatively challenging than in days gone by. That's why he converted his thriving Warwick, New York-based high school photo business to Sony gear. And now it's time for our out-of-network spotlight. This is where we highlight someone that is specific to our community and that's relevant to the show. Feel and roll perfectly aligned. Our best feeling insert, most efficient roll technology, and proven alignment system are now on the incredibly stable dual frame chassis. The new Odyssey Works was created for one purpose, to make more cuts. You've never seen feel and roll like this. Out of network spotlight, Odyssey Works. And now for the book, Rainforest by Joy Palmer. Shorter trees and other plants grow under the canopy between the taller trees. The bright color of this passion flower attracts birds to feed on its nectar. These are called buttress roots. The Rafflesia is the biggest flower in the world. The bright colors of this flower promise that it is poisonous. They help to break up this forest litter. Butterflies and moths fly between the flowering plants, searching for nectar. This blue morpho butterfly has brown underwings to help it hide among leaves. The bright colors of this shield bug warn attackers that it's poisonous. They belong to different groups or tribes, each with its own customs. The Baka pygmies live in the rainforests of West Africa. But the soil soon loses its richness. Trees and plants are cut down and burned to clear a small patch of land. Thousands of rainforest trees are being cut down or burned to make space for farmland, roads, buildings, or mines. So things that you can do, you can visit your nearest botanical garden and enter the tropical house. And back to those buttress roofs. Buttress roofs are huge roofs that develop to support heavy tree trunks and help keep very tall trees upright. And that was Rainforest by Joy Palmer. And this has been the Late Late Show with BT. Bye.